Well, when you watch a weather forecast, the information seems simple, straightforward, but the process of putting all of that together really is complex.
Tonight we'll take you inside the process for collecting that data, which helps determine the chance for rain, snow, wind, and more. That's where meteorologist Clayton Stiver comes in with a story you'll see only on NBC 29.
Yes, and as simple as a forecast may seem,
it's not
sometimes,
a magic 8-ball?
No,
so easy.
Not quite. There is definitely a lot of data that goes into putting that forecast together, folks. And the National Weather Service office just outside of Washington, D.C., they oversee many of the counties in Central Virginia and the Shenandoah Valley by looking high into the sky.
Good evening, Weather Service calling for balloon release.
To make a forecast, we need to collect data in the upper levels of the atmosphere. The NWS uses weather balloons.
Basically, forecasters can see the atmosphere in a vertical level.
These balloons are launched at different Weather Service offices around the country.
There are many released around the nation. So right now, there's one here, there's one in Wallops Island, in the Eastern Shore. We can see, how the vertical levels of the atmosphere are changing, comparing different balloons.
They're launched twice a day to record all the changing conditions.
The instrument collects data of temperature, pressure, humidity, wind speed, and wind direction.
A radio sonde is attached to the balloon, recording data and sending it back to the ground.
And as it goes up, it just gives us basically all those measurements every 2 seconds as it goes up in the air.
All right, we're just about ready to launch our weather balloon. It's close to full capacity here. What we're going to do is attach this parachute to the instruments that will ultimately send back that data that we need for our forecasts. Meteorologists then look at weather conditions at all different levels of the atmosphere.
Basically, the balloon will tell us will help us determine how unstable the atmosphere is, if we're going to expect hail, if we're going to expect thunderstorms, how severe are they going to be, and those type of details.
It's especially critical during thunderstorms.
Since the radio sonde, as it goes up, is measuring winds, wind shear will be basically the change in wind speed or direction as it goes up. So days of large instability, we're having like higher wind shear, especially in the lowest levels of the atmosphere.
So what happens to the balloon?
Because the pressure decreases with height, the balloon increases in size, and when it's about to pop, they have found that it could be as high as a 2-story home.
Once it pops and falls back to Earth, it contains instructions for whoever finds it to send it back to the National Weather Service, but that does not always happen.
Only 20% of the U.S. released balloon radio sondes are recovered.
And, we talk oftentimes, when we're talking about thunderstorms, certainly wind shear and instability, and those particular things, of course, are measured by those balloon launches. And interestingly enough, the computer models as well. The more data that we can get, the more balloon launches and data that we can put into these computer models, the better the chances for the accuracy of those models. You have the American models, the European model, and a lot of times the European model tends to be a little bit better than the American model, and a lot of that has to do with there's more balloon launches and data that are going into that model.
So quantity means quality in this case.
It does in this case, yeah.
All right. Clayton, thanks.
Clayton.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right.